Polaroid story, J-Rock.
What's Eastside Johnny is here.
Yes.
TDE's first cowboy in the hill, if I'm correct. Real name Johnny Reed Mackenzie Jr., but overall known as J-Rock.
Yes.
Welcome in Belgium.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, much appreciated.
Oh,
So I have to kick off this interview with massive congratulations.
Thank you.
You are officially a 2019 Grammy Award winner for King's Dead, Best Rap Performance. Before we dive in the interview, can you give a few memory highlights of that night? Because it's got to be a very special night.
Oh man, well actually it was kind of like in the daytime when I won it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was in the pre.
Yeah, it was the pre-Grammy Awards. I mean, I was speechless. I didn't really know what to say. I mean, as you can see when I was up there, it took me by surprise. But I'm forever grateful, man. Shout out to all the fans that been supporting me since day one. I owe it to them. I owe it to my team that been rocking with me, never gave up on me, and been behind my back for 112%. So it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, I can only imagine it. I have to say, props to your stylist for the look. It was very sharp.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Diane. You already know how it's going.
You won the Grammy in the midst of your Europe tour, right?
Yes.
So besides flying back and forth for the Grammys, I presume touring is a bit more comfortable for you than back in the days when you had to tour with your custom black van?
Oh yeah, it was.
Correct?
It was a van that had my name, it had my face on it.
Yeah.
But man, I love that van, man. If it wasn't for that van, I wouldn't be here today. You know what I'm saying? That van, it got a lot of memories. We've been all around, the United States in that van. We was everywhere in that thing, thugging it out, me and my team. So, we owe that van a great deal of much respect and honor. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I saw a lot of footage from that. So it does feel like you could make a whole new video built around the whole black fan thing because it was custom. I saw it was really cool.
Yeah.
Looking back, what is the biggest difference touring now? If you look back to those days?
I mean, hey, I'm on a bus. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more comfortable now, you know what I mean? It just show all the hard work and time that we put into to get to this point, you know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing to be able to ride comfortable and then be able to come out and do a good show for the fans who've been waiting. I mean, especially being over here on a whole other world, you know what I'm saying? People, who don't even speak English but know every word, man. It's a blessing, man, just to be able to come and see these people and touch these people too, you know what I mean? So it's a good feeling.
And is this the first European tour, as a headliner?
Yes, this is my first time.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You mentioned on Twitter that All Eyes on Me is your favorite hip-hop album of all time besides Redemption. Why is that?
I mean, Pac, man, shout out to the GOAT, man, even though he rests in peace, but he's like one of my biggest influence growing up. That's all I used to always listening to. You know what I mean? Especially that album right there, it was a double disc, but you could just hear the rawness and the real in his voice, man. It was just too real, you know what I'm saying? And I felt every word, you know what I mean? That's just one of my best albums. I listen to it every day.
Yeah, even back in the day, double disc was kind of rare also. Now a lot of artists do double albums on Spotify, but back then there were not that many hip-hop artists who had double disc. They're always stuck by me.
Yeah, no, and it just show you how much of a hard worker that Tupac was, you know what I'm saying? He came in supposedly he did the album in 3 or 4 days, you know what I'm saying? Wow. Yeah, so they were saying he just, he got off the plane, he went straight in the studio, and was recording 5 or 6 songs a day. So, that's, man, big shouts out to Pac, man. He's, hard worker. Man.
So besides Pac, who are the artists that inspired you growing up?
Oh, who inspired me growing up, man? It's a lot of artists, man. Shout out to my big homies, OFTB. You know what I mean? RP Flipside, you know what I'm saying? Scarface, man, Juvenile, you feel me? Spice One. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, Snoop and Dre, you know what I'm saying? NWA, man, you know, the list goes on. DJ Quick, you feel me? A lot of artists, especially from the West Coast. But one of the from the artists from the East Coast that who really influenced me to really try to rap was Busta Rhymes. You know what I mean? Because the way he came out with his flow was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
and you have a song with him.
Yeah, of course, man. That's the big homie right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Big shouts out to Busta. You know what I mean?
So, do you remember that moment when you realized that hip-hop might be an actual option for you besides the environment that you were growing up in?
I mean, besides the environment that I was growing, I always had a thing for music. Music was always embedded in my blood, you know what I mean? I had family members who did music, you know what I mean? My mama used to sing in the choir, my daddy used to play instruments, you know what I mean? My uncles, you know what I mean? So music was, you could say it was already embedded in me. I just had to unleash it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And just had to tap into it, and, you know, I got into it, and, you know, I could say when I was like 18, 19, I just really started messing around with it, you know what I mean?
Okay. You have been releasing music since 2006. That's what the farthest that I could find. And it kind of all started with All My Life in the Ghetto with Kendrick, who didn't even have an album out, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And Lil Wayne. It was your big breakthrough, your commercial hits, let's say it like that.
Yeah.
That's 13 years ago. We live in an era where overnight success and instant gratification is considered normal. You say it yourself somewhere, I don't know where, but you mentioned somewhere Instagram is a dead man's best friend. Is that correct? Yeah. What are the few of the biggest lessons you learned along your decade-long grind to recognition? Because it's a different grind than somebody who just pops and is worldwide known. You really had to be patient. Yeah.
You know, my whole thing is thinking long term. You know what I mean? I don't want to be loved today, then forget about tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? And it's just speaking on what you said about the Instagrams. You know, it's just, you know, I want to be loved right now. I don't want to be honored when I'm gone, or, you know what I mean, when I'm in a cold circumstance. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I just always think like long term, you know what I mean, and just think about the future, you know what I mean? Like I say, man, I just want to be, you know, just keep motivating and inspiring for years to come, you know what I mean? And that's my whole thing, you know what I mean?
Okay. I read on Twitter that you play instruments, and I saw some footage of you playing the piano.
Well, where you get that footage from?
The footage?
Yeah,
it's in the documentary.
I'm just messing with you.
Ah, okay. It was fast, but I was like, because I kind of suspected, because people were asking on Twitter and you didn't really want to go into what type of instruments you played, so I wanted to give the fans at least that, and maybe you can tell me something more.
Man, you know, I razzle dazzle a little bit with, you know, I just do a little bit of, you know, what I can. You know
like
what I'm saying?
Piano?
Yeah, you know,
guitar?
I might play a little piano here and there. I might, you know, play a little bass here and there.
Okay, some bass.
I might play. You never know what J-Rock can do. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep your eyes and your ears open. That's it.
I mean, I think it's fun for the fans. Like, it would be cool if you like show up on stage and just hit some bass lines.
But you know, a fun fact for the fans who really want to know, I was making beats. I was making beats before I rapped. So, you know, that's for the fans who, you know, that's a fun fact about me. You know, I was making beats before I was rhyming. So.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Let's talk briefly about 90059. In the midst of TDE getting its first big accolades, life, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, benched you. You got into a pretty bad motorcycle accident the same day Kendrick was receiving his first Grammy, is that correct? Yeah. Healing is always a matter of time, whether it is mentally or physically, or if you're really in bad luck, both. So I was curious, how would you describe that feeling of going through a forced healing process? It was forced on you while having to take a career break, having an album out, and not being able to tour. If it was me, I'd be ripping off some sheets in the hospital. I'd be like, argh.
I mean, for me, man, I just kept my mind on God and my family, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to, you know, I was kind of angry for a minute, you know, but that's what, you know, that's what was killing me in the hospital. They was telling me, man, you can't, your blood pressure keep going up. You ain't gonna be able to leave the hospital because your blood pressure, you know what I mean? So I just had to, you know, just calm down and, you know, just look at it, man. Everything happens for a reason, you know, and I just kept my mindset on, you know, just getting back on my feet, you know what I mean, and be able to walk, you get what I'm saying? And once I said, man, once I be able to get strong enough to walk, you know, then it's just back to the basics, you know what I mean? It's just back to ground zero, but just going harder than ever before and doing what I got to do, you know what I mean? And you know, God had me every step of the way, so, you know, it's a blessing.
And how long did it took you really to heal? Because people forget that things take time, and I think it's interesting if kids know if something happens, they shouldn't expect that in 4 weeks everything is going to be fine again. So that's why I really want to dig deeper in that. How much time did it really take to get fully better? Man,
it didn't take me that long, you know. And the doctors was kind of amazed by that, because I only went to therapy probably like 2 times. And the third time I went back, they was just like, man, you don't really need no therapy no more. They just was amazed how fast I healed up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Physically, you know what I'm saying? But everything is all mental, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, you know, once your mental is healed, you know what I mean, everything else is gonna fall into place. So, you know, like I said, man, my whole thing was just, you know, God and my family and doing what I gotta do, you know what I mean? Just blocking out all negativity, you know what I mean? Just all positive thoughts, you know what I mean? And just keep it pushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So you didn't really get to promote that album, so just for your fans, what are your favorite tracks of that album that we should all revisit from the first album?
Which one? You saying from 90059?
From 90059.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite songs was Vice City. I ain't gonna even lie. I perform it every night. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, shout out to the homies. You already know Kendrick, Absol, Schoolboy Q. It was just like that record right there was fun to make, because it was just like, it was one of those, you know, moments where how we used to be in the studio, you know, in the beginning, with all of us just, you know, making music together, you know what I mean, black hippie style, you feel me? And it just how the way we just came together with that record, you know what I mean? It just reminded me of old times, you know what I mean, fun times we used to have back at the TDE House of Pain. So, you know, that's one of my favorite records.
House of Pain, that's nicely put. My personal highlight from that album is also Vice City.
Okay.
Really, really love that track, and the whole I'm focused, feeling blessed, for my eyes be the truth. It's like my favorite Instagram caption.
Shout out to my boy Lance Skywalker, man. That's him. He came up with that right there.
Really?
Man. Yes.
I think it's such a positive verse. I love it.
Yeah,
so I watched as many videos as I could during my research, and I'm pretty sure I don't have ever seen you smile so hard in any other video than Vice City, especially the top shot with the sliding track with the butts. So that was, I never seen the biggest smile in all your videos. I think we can go frame by frame.
Because I was smiling because they all smell good, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? That's the first time, you know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to them young ladies, you know what I mean, that I was up under. You know what I mean? Y'all was smelling good, scrumptious, you know what I mean? That's why I was smiling.
Very, very dope video. Very dope video, regardless. Yeah. Let's talk about Redemption, a beautiful, reflective body of work.
Yes, thank you.
2 career-defining tracks on that album, like 2, not 1, but 2. Win and King's Dead. 3 Grammy nominations with 2 tracks dominating Best Rap Song in 1 category.
That's crazy.
Gotta feel good, right?
Yes, man, that's crazy.
And apparently you are also the first artist from What's that is a Grammy Award winner.
Yes. Yes, that's big.
Okay.
That's big, hey.
So, for people who still didn't take the time to check out that album, how would you describe that project the best way?
I mean, basically, I describe it as, you know, just real. You know what I mean? It's real. You know what I mean? It came from a real spot, you know what I mean? And, you know, I think with this one really connected with the people, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I wanted to do with this album, man. I really wanted to connect, you know what I mean? So people could really understand who I really am, you know what I mean? I'm just human like everybody else, you feel me? And I just wanted to be as real as possible, you know what I mean? And that's why if you hear the records such as Out of Sight, Out of Mind, you know, with featuring me and J. Cole, I think that's one of the records that kind of like really did it, because, you know, I was just explaining the whole timeline of me first getting my deal, you You know what I mean? To, you know, being at this, they think you at the top of the game, to losing everything and having to start back over, you know what I mean? Because that's what life, you know, life is, everybody don't go through life smooth sailing. So I just want to let people know I'm one of those people that went through the same thing you going through too, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to thank you for making a song like Win, because we all need that type of song.
Yes,
Everybody in life needs a Win song.
Yes.
King's Dead and Win both have amazing videos. How was it to shoot those videos?
Man, it was lovely, man. Shout out to, you know, my boy Dave Free, Jack, and the little homies who did King's Dead. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my favorite ones to ever shoot. You know what I mean? It was dope. It was a beautiful feeling. And shout out to Dave Myers who did Win. You know what I'm saying? He did a damn good job on that too. I mean, both. It was just something new and different for me. You know what I mean? I was in a different atmosphere. You know, and you know, like I said, I just want to step outside the box. You know what I mean? And do something different, something to have, you know, dope ass visuals. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't want every video that I do to be the same. You know what I mean?
Well, the amazing thing about Vice City and King's Dead and Win, you only have to see the video only once, and it's engraved. Yeah,
dope.
whether it's the shots in the barber with the slow-mo, or whether it's the butt track shot,
yeah,
I seen shot.
Whoever made that meme on me and I sit in that barber chair, man. Y'all cold, but I love it though. That was
I've used it yesterday actually. It's part of our it's a GIF also.
No, that's
in
dope.
on social media. You also have a track with Jeremiah, Tap Out.
Yes.
That's a very fun surprise for me because I didn't really expect that collab. I'm slightly obsessed with Jeremiah.
Okay.
Very obsessed.
I'll let him
Please
know.
spread the word to him.
I'll let him know.
So tell me all you can about that collaboration. How did this track come about? Did you do it together or not?
Oh man, big shouts out to shouts out to Jeremiah, his team. Shout out to my boy Bongo. You feel me? You know, I had the track. You know what I mean? And I shot it over to him.
Okay.
You know, he listened to it and he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he came to the studio and recorded the hook. You know what I mean? And then we got other records together too. We did that night too. So y'all be on the lookout soon. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, Jeremiah, he a hardworking dude. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing, man. So big shouts out to Jeremiah, man. Good looking.
You are the first prodigy of TDE, and over the years you were joined by a stellar amount of artists like Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Absol, Isaiah Rashad, SZA, and recent new signees like Reason and Inglewood Sir.
Yeah.
I want to give some shine to Sir.
Yeah.
How would you describe your relationship with him? Are there any tracks coming with you two together, perhaps?
Man, me and Sir got down there like an album together, you know what I mean? We don't record so many songs together. That's my family, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, big shout out to Sir, man, coming out of Inglewood, California, you feel me? Dope voice, you get what I'm saying? And he got some shit, you know what I mean? He got some shit on the way, man. He's man, his style is crazy, man, and he can also rap too, you know what I mean?
Okay.
He real dope, so, you know, yeah, me and Sir got a gang of records together, so, you know, it's all about piecing it up and seeing what it do.
In one of your earlier tracks, Hood Gun Love It, you show or you shout out how OGs teach you a certain code of conduct that you try to maintain. Who do you consider OGs in hip hop today?
Oh, who the OGs? You know, the dudes who paved the way. You know what I'm saying?
Who are those dudes?
I mean, shit. You get such artists like Snoop Dogg. You get what I'm saying? E40. You feel me? Like, you know, who else, man? Anybody that's around that generation, the time that was doing music, man. I love just getting advice from them. And, you know what I mean? And you know, just when they tell me something, you know, I listen. You know what I mean? I've been like that even growing up in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? When the OGs talk, I listen. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been here before me. Sometimes you got young dudes that's hard-headed and don't want to listen. You know, they want to do their own thing, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But you know, once sometimes, you know, the OGs, they'll tell you something because they don't want to see you run into that wall. You get what I'm saying? You feel me?
Same mistakes
they did. You know, but at the same time, you know, we all men. And sometimes, you know, we got to go through what you got to go through in life. So, you know, hey, you know, when OGs talk, I listen. You know what I mean?
Many passionate rap fans will argue that both you and J. Cole were missing in the Grammys Best Rap category. Cardi B won that category, which sparked a lot of debate. What's your feedback on that whole political side of categories and all that? I'm just curious.
Hey, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's all, you know, like I say, hey, it's you know, I can't understand it. There's certain things that I can't explain. You know what I mean? But I always say, hey, what's understood don't need to be explained. You get what I'm saying? And that's the only thing I can say about that situation. You know what I mean? Big shouts out to Cardi B and her team. You know what I mean? QC. You know what I mean? They family. You get what I'm saying? They, you know, she worked hard to get to where she at today. So you know, hey man. You know, that's I guess that's how the ball bounces sometimes, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Just, you know, it's all about, you know, just, you know, whoever didn't win, you know what I mean? They got nominated too, you know what I'm saying? So that's a big look too, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, hey man, you already know, just, hey, next year you never know what could happen. Cause like I say, man, 3 years ago, I was supposed to be at the Grammys. And look here, 3 years later, I won, you know what I mean? So anything is possible, you feel me? So, you know, just stay consistent, stay working, man, and shit, you know?
It seems like life learned you to be very accepting. Regardless what comes, it feels like you're like, okay, I'm gonna take this. It's cool, I'm gonna take this. Fine, it's okay, I'm gonna take this. Like, that's a really strong skill to have, because I mean, that's something I had to learn. Oh
yeah, man, patience is a virtue, you know what I'm saying? Like, patience is everything, you know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, watch National Geographic, you know what I mean? If you watch that, you watch how these predators chase their prey, and they be so patient and wait to the right moment to do what they gotta do, and they win every time.
The only thing I follow on Instagram is NASA and National Geography.
That's what's up, that's what's up.
So there is a massive influx of female MCs on the rise. Rico Nasty, Tierra Whack, Lakely 47, Treasy. Rhapsody is also getting a lot more shine, which I like.
That's the homegirl.
Yeah, I think she can really rap. Yeah. There are also many new female vocalists on the rise. Her, Summer Walker, Tiana Taylor, Mariba. Name one female vocalist and one female MC you would love to collab with, and you have to pick one.
Oh man, that's kind of hard, you know what I mean? Because all those people I would love to work with, you know what I'm saying? I love to work with all those people you named, you know, especially on the vocalist side, you know what I mean? Tiana Taylor, that's the homegirl, you know what I'm saying? Her, I love to work with all of them, you know what I'm saying? And on the contrary, hey, if they want to work with J-Rock, you know, let's go for it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just can't pick one. I want to work with all of them.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
You just can't pick one.
So you just made 8 women very happy.
Hey man,
such a safe answer.
Man, if y'all want to work, holla at your boy. If y'all want to work with the Rocker Locker, man, let me know. It's all love. You feel me?
Tiana Taylor would be cool though, I have to say.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, her album was amazing.
Dope. It was dope.
So my final question is a word association game. It's very simple. I ask this question to every artist I meet. It doesn't matter if your answer is right or wrong. So here we go. When I say Belgium, what 3 words pop in your head?
Belgium. Man, the only thing it's only one word. When I hear Belgium is waffles, because I was back home, I remember just eating a Belgian waffle before, you know what I mean? But I've never been to Belgium, like Belgium, but you know, that's crazy, and I'm in Belgium, so when I still ain't had no waffle from Belgium yet, so you know what I mean?
Well, you still have some time.
I got some time.
You can also grab some beer.
Okay.
That's also very Belgian.
Oh, it's a Belgian beers?
Yeah, and then you can also grab some chocolate.
Belgian chocolate. So that's the 3 things: Belgian waffles, beer, and chocolate. Okay, I'm gonna remember that.
Got it.
I got you.
Okay, thank you so much, J-Rock. Congratulations with all the success, all the massive wins you collected. I have much respect for people who have a long grind.
Yes, thank you.
And you also seem like a very loyal person to your team. So as a music fan, it's very motivating to see somebody like you win. So thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
And now we're going to take a few Polaroids.
For sure. Salute.
Calm down, hold on, look, check this out, look. It's 3 things you gotta do to get to that though. It's 3 things you gotta do. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all the 3 things you gotta do to win, man. Hey! Look, stay away from bullshit niggas, stay away from bullshit bitches, and stay away from motherfuckers who ain't making no sense. Because at the end of the day, we all trying to win out this bitch.